What's going on, everyone? Scott here from the Breakevens, giving you another AFL Supercoach video for you today. This is the last of the 3 video series where the team pick has gone out and I've made my original first draft team. Last video, I went through the guns and rookies, and this video, I will be going through mid-price madness. And when I say mid-price madness, I have 3 to 4 primos in this side. The rest are rookies and value and mid-price picks. So I wouldn't suggest going down this way, but I'm going just to talk about a few people who potential breakouts or coming back from injuries and whatnot. So we'll go through that today. Just quickly, if you haven't seen the first 2 videos, make sure you go back and watch those. Some really good content there. And of course, there'll be different players that I talk about and go through in those videos. So do not miss those. Make sure you go check them out and subscribe to the channel. All right. And lastly, let's go through the socials. So you can find me on Twitter/X at BreakevensPod. On Facebook, The Breakevens, here on YouTube and on Twitch, The Breakevens, where I do FC 25 career mode. So, all right, let's get into the mid-price madness. If you see me look down, it's because I've got the team up on my phone. So let's get into it. All right, so starting with the defense, I'll be going defense all the way down to the flex. And we'll start off how we've started every video in this series. Sam Flanders. Not going to go into huge detail, but 119 last season, most consistent defender last season. Do I think he can go higher than 119? Probably not, but his role isn't going to change. He's got to score points. Sam Flanders in, simple. Now, this is where things get fun. Straight into the mid-price madness. We're going Matty Roberts, 434K. Towards the end of last season, when he was given that distribution role off halfback, he absolutely dominated. And I think just due to natural progression and development, he's going to go again. So an 80 there, I can see him going 100 easy. So Matt Roberts is coming in. And he's one of 3 to 4 gingers that I have in the side. So shout out to the gingers there. But Matt Roberts is in. I think he's going to have a great season. So Roberts in. Next is a Pies man, Harry Perryman, has come over from GWS to the Pies and brings a different dynamic to the midfield. You have the Goey, the Bull. You have Dacos. You can get on the inside, runs on the outside. You now have Perryman, who is explosive, defensive-minded. With GWS, when he has played midfield, he has scored very well, upwards of 95 plus in that role. And it looks like he's going to play mainly as a midfielder for Collingwood. With Houston out for the first game, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second game when Houston's back. Is Houston just that defender, or will they rotate? Will Perryman come off the halfback and then swap with Houston, vice versa that way? But 417K, average of 77 last year, could easily have a big bump there. We've seen him do it before. So he's into the mid-price madness team. And then it continues with the second ginger and from Sydney as well. Callum Mills, 357K. Didn't play last season, or he did towards the end. He played 6 games, averages 73. Wasn't back to his best, took it pretty cautiously. And Sydney actually went on a slump when he came back, which was quite funny. But Longmire gone. Cox in. Will he play full mid? We've seen him be a bit of a Mr. Fix-It. Will he play full mid at 357K for someone who's been upwards of 620k and average around 120. Absolute bargain. Callum Mills is in. And he'll be paired with Gideon Coleman coming back from ACL, 269k. He was the guy last year. Everyone's like, he's going to break out. And the only thing he broke was his ACL. He tore it and out for the whole season. It happened in preseason, so it's been 12 months. He's looking strong, he's looking fit, and he's looking confident on the knee. As I've said in the past couple of videos, he had 100 Supercoach in the grand final against Collingwood in 2023 at halftime. 100 Supercoach points. He can tear a game to shreds. They want the ball in his hands, so he's a great selection. Up next, we have it's Al Hawley from the Bombers. Should have played last year, got injured, and he's looking great, fit. Will definitely, not definitely, but he's 99% certain to start the season if fit. He's looking great, and another man that just off that halfback that they're going to try and use his foot skills. So 119k. You could do a lot worse. Next is Toby Travalia at 172k. Heard nothing but good things from him. Big body, defender, midfielder, can play both. He looks ready to go. Saints are happy with him. And I think he's been in all my drafts so far. So if he gets games early, he'll definitely be a great selection. And the last one in defense is Bo Allen, another big body guy, defender mid, tearing it up. And yes, it's preseason, all these cliches, career best, tearing up the track, blah, 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 blah. We've heard it all, but this guy, young, they're going to look to expose him pretty quickly to AFL, and I can see him playing off a halfback and then rotating in, similar to what Ruben Gibney has done. But this guy is an absolute gun, so he is in the side. And that's the defense there. So let's move straight to the mids, and it's mid-price madness. So we're not going any uber primos here. We're going Christian Petracca at 556k. Let me just quickly get this up again. Sorry, 103 average last season, 13 games. Had that big injury. So we've got a guy here who can go 115 plus. He's probably about 80 to 100k cheaper than what we would expect him to be if he had a full season. Back in the full training, he's looking strong. He's looking confident, but it'll all depend on his mental, because there was a serious injury. So we'll see how he goes, but I'm pretty confident that it's just a value selection. So Petracca at his best is worth a lot more than 556k. Next is Will Day. Someone who I spoke about in the first video. I think he can break average 91 last season, 16 games. A few injury affected games there. If he stays fit, I can see him going 110 plus. And at 110 plus, that means I'm getting an M8. So expect big things for Day. Just worried about his injury history, but hopefully he can get it right this season. Now, to pair up with track, you have to go the Pink Pig and the third ginger in the team, Clary Oliver. 451k for a guy who's averaged 125 plus a couple times. 83 average last season, was not fit, had a lot of off-field issues. He's looking good. Hopefully he can stay fit and mentally fit. Oliver at his best, this is 200k cheaper. Petracca was 80 to 100k cheaper than what we expect. Clary is 200k. We've seen it upwards of 700k. So Clary is in the mid-price team. Heaps of value here in the midfield, and it does not stop. Finn Kellahan. I tipped this guy last season. I don't know why I keep doing that. I tipped this guy last season to break out. Didn't quite happen. Did all right early, but then faded onto a wing. Hopefully, natural progression and wanting to move forward as a club, they see him as an inside midfielder where that's where he does his best work. I think I see that happening. Now, you still have Green and Kelly in there. Green's a gun. Kelly, you could see maybe going towards the wing a bit more, but Kellahan definitely in there. I see him in the mix, and he's someone that I've seen a lot of good praise for early this season. So Kellahan is in the mid-price madness team, but it does not stop. Will Ashcroft in 441k, averaged 107 in the 6 or 7 games he played last season. Absolutely tore it up. He was huge in the grand final as well. Average of 81. He's going to absolutely tear it up this season. I'm wanting to get him in my normal side, which means Kellahan or Oliver will have to move away for an Ashcroft. So it's really between those three because I think I want to keep Days. So it's between these three who looks better. If I had to choose one, Kellahan probably out, but it'll all depend on Oliver and how he's tracking. But Will Ashcroft, he's going to absolutely tear it up this year. And I expect big things from him. Last mid-pricer, so that's 6 mid-pricers in the midfield, and that is James Peatling, has moved over from GWS. Similar to Perryman, this guy's an absolute gun. Footage of him, running, chasing, tackling. They could really use a Peatling type in their midfield. They have Crouch, who just gets the ball and handballs. You've got Dawson, who is their user. You've got Rankin going through there, who is their explosive dynamic type. I think Laird plays a bit more in defense. So Peatling comes in as that defensive minded midfielder, tackling, getting the ball himself, using it going forward. I can see him doing really well. Probably around that 95 average. So 352k, you probably use him to get a Butters, Dacos, Neil Sarong types later in the season. So Peatling is in there, and it's finally time to get through the rookies. So Jagger Smith is in every version of mine. The kid gets the ball. He loves getting the ball. He's a stats man. He wants the ball in his hand. I think he's got a real big role there to play for Carlton. Matt Kennedy is out. He's gone to the Dogs. So definitely an option there is Jagger Smith, and I think he'll do well early on. Next is Sid Draper. Spoken about most of these rookies in all the other videos, but Draper, high praise, high work rate, is tearing it up right now for the Crom. Looks, again, a role to play. Do him and Peatling, do they rotate with each other in defense and then in the midfield? I can definitely see that happening. So I think Draper is good for a 70 to 75 this season. Now, it'll be rude in a mid-price madness team. It'll be rude to have one Ashcroft and not the other. So Levi is in. Best player in the draft by a country mile. He gets the ball in the midfield. When he plays forward, he gets on the scoreboard. He's going to score. I expect him going 85 plus. He's got to get the ball. Just get the kid in. Get the kid in. Not much more I have to say. Next is Harvey Langford. I've spoken about him a couple times as well. He's looking really good, really hungry, high pressure, decent kick. The D's are happy with how he is progressing. Where does he play, though? Does he play in that midfield with Petracca, Clary? Who else? You got like Rivers who can run through there. They had Salem in there. There's another tiny guy that I'm forgetting. Neil Bullen played through there, and there's someone else. I've completely lost it. But does Langford get a game? Is he a sub risk? We're not sure, but we're here for some madness. So Langford is in. And to finish off is Josh Smiley, 176K, small minor injury. It's nothing. He's back, and he's probably the pick of the Richmond rookies. I'm not going on Sam Layla because I think he also might have an injury. It might be someone else, but Smiley is the pick, and at 176K, I think he could do the same, if not better than Laylaw, who is 30K more expensive. So that's how we're starting off. I said it's mid-price madness, and here is the midfield that makes it mad. So let's get into the rucks. And the same as the last video, we're going with Cherry and Tom De Koning. I think Cherry goes 120 plus this year. They have a better midfield unit now. Sheasel, McKercher, Wardlaw, Parker, LDU. Finno Sullivan will get some exposure in there. Much better team. Cherry really came into his own. So I think he's gone 120 plus. Tom De Koning, I'm pretty sure Carlton have figured out that Pitternet is shit and that De Koning is the way forward. So they should play him number one ruck. Come on, Vossi. Help us out here. 547. He's really, if you're not going Gorn or Cherry, like one of those, he is the pick for me. Yes, English had a down year, but you got Sam Darcy, who they, did a great job, and I think they're going to want to expose Darcy a little bit more with that ruck role. So in he goes, Tom De Koning over English, and everyone else, not a huge fan. Sean Darcy's lost a bit of weight, so can he stay fit? But everyone else, I'm staying completely clear of. And I do have a 99K ruck here, but they're not on the website for some reason, or nor can I scroll down. But I've tried and I can't find them anywhere. So no 99K, but this will be a basement ruck. Anyway, let's move to the midfield. I'm going Horn Francis, 99 average, just under that 100. I think his development is going 100 plus this season. Ollie Wines is sort of on the outer, so it's him, Butters, and Rosie. When he goes forward, he can get onto it, but I'm hoping it's just a pure mid-roll for Horn Francis, and I think he can do really well. He did explode at the start of last season, so he's in there. And then it's just your usuals. Jack McRae, come over from the Dogs, should play pure mid. If he doesn't, then we've got a bit of a problem here, but he's averaged 120 plus before. Yes, he's not that same player, but I think you can still lock him in for a 95 plus with some decent midfield time. Bailey Smith is the next one. Going to play full mid, maybe a little bit on a wing or pushing forward for Geelong, but he's looking strong. He's looking fit, confident coming back from an ACL at 389K. He's an absolute bargain, and he's going to be a very popular player, and he was on everyone's radars towards the end of last season. Next one is Matthias Philippou. Had some mid-time exposure at the end of last season and did really well. So Ross put him in the midfield. We have another cheap guy here, 313K. If he gets that mid-time, gets the ball early, it's going to boost his confidence. When he goes forward, he'll be a bit more reactive, and we know he can get on the scoreboard. So locking in Matthias Philippou there. And then we're going to go to the rookies. Elijah Hewitt at 122K. Spoke about him a lot, coming back from injury. They rate him. He's a gun. I can see him going 75. So Hewitt is in. If he can stay fit, that's just a big question mark over him. I've got Constantine coming over from Sydney, looking for some more minutes. At the moment, it looks like he's going to get a gig in the forward line for North. Small forward, It's going to be a bit inconsistent, so probably not a field option, but someone who could be a slowish burn on our bench to make that cash. Someone who I am liking at the moment is Daniel Curtin, 158k. This kid's an absolute gun. Some injuries last season, found it hard to stay in the side. Third year, I believe, at 158k, he's someone who can go 70 to 75. It just depends where Adelaide play him. Do they play him up forward? If he's up forward, then he's less of an option. If he plays down back, then he's that intercepting, marking type. You'll have Sid Draper probably down there as well. So what happens there? It'll be interesting to see what the Crom do, but Curtin is looking like a great option. There's good things coming out of the Crom camp. And the last one is Isaac Kako for Essendon. Small forward, can play a bit of midfield. I think it'll be that high half forward pressuring type. Nothing but good things coming out of the Essendon camp, and he'll be a popular pick if he gets games early on, which I think he will. So, finish. I've got 300k here for the flex, so I could definitely go a rookie here, but it's mid-price madness. So, let's get 300k up. It goes 300 exactly. So let's see who we can get. Darling, no, these are all just poo. We don't want any of these guys. No. There is one man missing from the forward line, and that is who will be going. That is Caleb Daniel. Just quickly look at everyone else. Hobbs, if he gets full mid, but he won't sub-risk. I've spoken about a few guys in the last video around this price. Jack Carroll at 224. I feel like he can do a job, but it's not mid-price madness enough for this side. Apart from that, we're into the rookies. You've got Reef McInnes, who looks to be playing that Nathan Murphy role off the halfback for Collingwood. Could be a good pickup there. And you have Tom Lynch coming back. If he kicks, a bag early, his cash gen is going to be absolutely massive. Pal Pepper, the same. Not usually, typically the biggest scorer as of late. So probably skipping on him. And the last thing I want to talk about is Jack Martin at 150k. Just left Carlton, had a lot of injuries. The Geelong fitness staff seem to be pretty good. So if he can stay fit, at 150k, he's an absolute bargain as well. But we're going Caleb Daniel because we've heard out of the North Melbourne camp that this guy is going to play that McKercher Fisher role from last season. They're going to give him the ball. He's going to kick it. He's going to take kickouts. An easy 95 average. You can just pencil it in now. Caleb Daniel, 95 average. Easy peasy. Don't worry about it. So that is the side. That is the mid-price madness team. So we'll quickly go through the team. And we've got 31k left over as well. So for constancy and stuff, don't get a game, I can go to Jack Martin. So in the fence, you've got Flanders, Roberts, Perryman, Mills, Coleman, Al Hawley with Travalia and Bo Allen. The midfielders, you've got Petracca, Day, Oliver, Kellahan, Ashcroft, Peatling, Smith, Draper, the younger Ashcroft, Langford, and Smiley. Absolutely crazy, that midfield. It's either going to score, 2,000 points or it's going to score 200. In the rucks, you've got Cherry and TDK with just a basement ruck. And in the forwards, you've got Horn Francis, McRae, Smith, Philippou, Hewitt, Constantine, Curtin, and Kako with Caleb Daniel as the flex. So that is the team for the mid-price madness team. And that's going to do it for the video and the end of this quick series. Don't forget the other two videos, my first legit draft and then the Guns and Rookies draft. They came out on Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you go look at those. As I said earlier, different players. So some new information. Go check those out. And again, disclaimer, I would not go for a side of this craziness, this mid-price madness. It's called mid-price madness for a reason. It's not really great if you want ranks, but it is very fun being able to fit all these guys in. So that's going to do it. Don't forget, you can hit us up on the socials at Breakevens Pod on Twitter /X, on Facebook, The Breakevens, here on YouTube, and on Twitch, The Breakevens, where I do the FC25 manager mode. So like, follow, and subscribe on all of those channels. A lot of content coming in the new year. I'll have a few weeks off over Christmas, but then straight back into it. I'm going to do team reviews, want to do player reviews, just having fun with this team picker as well. There's heaps of content, so make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on all those platforms so you can keep up to all of update with all AFL Supercoach content and FPL content, because I do that weekly as well. Wasn't able to do one this week, which is crazy because I've done 3 AFL videos, 4 AFL videos actually. So yeah, look, just didn't have enough time, and AFL Supercoach is my first love. So thank you all again for watching and listening. Check out those other videos, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2025. Bye.